everybody. I hope you're having a wonderful Friday because that's what we're talking about today. It's Friday, it's the 4th of April, and the weekend is upon us. I am looking for it. Uh, you don't know how busy this week has been for me, and my back is feeling better. Thank goodness that I rested last night because I was going to do an after dark session and I could barely stand to sit, if you know what I'm saying. I couldn't stand sitting down. That's what I meant. It still doesn't make sense. My name is Sean Shapiro, former police officer, talking about traffic safety, traffic law, and police stuff. If you've got questions, I've got answers. That's how this goes. If you have questions, drop them in the comments. But there's stuff that I've got to talk about today. So, in the absence of questions, I have lots to deal with. I've got 5 videos here. They are dash cam videos. One of them was actually from my dash cam. Other ones are submissions from the internet or videos that I was tagged in. So if you do see videos that you want me to talk about, you want me to respond to, well then tag me in them because that's how this works. If you let me know what they are, I will definitely check them out. And then we'll discuss them either on the live or on a standalone video. I love these videos. I hate that people drive this way, but I do love the videos they create because they are such great teaching tools. Um, let's look at one. Without further ado, let's look at one. This is a doozy. We don't need audio here. We'll just keep looking at it. This vehicle, they're in the left lane. Obviously, the HOV lane to the left, where people are going far faster. Now, the speed limit is the same in all lanes. No one should be going much faster than the other. And the chap that's behind the film car here wants to get past this guy who's left lane camping. Now, if you're going to do the speed limit, I'm absolutely a supporter of that. You should be staying to the right. You shouldn't be being passed on the right. You stay to the right, and you let the people who choose to go faster, even though they're breaking law. Now, I will say that this, and you see the rear view camera as they go around the vehicle, this is not a safe lane change. So, camera car, I would give you a ticket. I would. But what this guy does afterwards is just unbelievable. So first off, violates the rules by crossing those lines. Those are the only enforceable lines because they're enforceable because of a sign that is posted saying you can't cross it. So there's a nice ticket. And then he does this really wonderfully aggressive brake check, which qualifies him for, guess what? Brake checking is stunt driving, and then swerves to try and hit. Now we're into dangerous driving, that which becomes criminal, in my opinion. Well, dangerous driving is criminal. I think that the act of which this person decided to try and swerve this person off the road was a wonderful charge, eligible for dangerous driving. I'd arrest this person. Yes. Unbelievable. So first you're camping, and then you're just being a magical human being and trying to run someone off the road. I don't get it. Do you get it? Tell me what you think about it. I want to know what your thoughts are. If you are someone who's never been here, know that I go live Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 10 a.m., and then almost every Tuesday and Thursday night at 9 p.m., the late night edition, so I can be here for those who can't be here in the morning. Also, if you don't already know, I am reading the driver's handbook, not because I need to know what's inside of it, but because I want to help teach you what's inside of it. If you're getting your learner's permit, if that's the G1 in Ontario, if you're going for your G2 and you're trying to study up on the stuff and things inside there, check out it's the first or second link inside of my link tree. The link tree can be gotten to by going to the link in the bio. I also have something else that's exciting. I wasn't going to talk about it today, but I guess I'm going to talk about it. I was waiting for the podcast to release. Traffic Jam is the podcast. And I just did an episode, recorded and finished editing an episode where I talked to Bill Bland and Craig Lyon from Turf. Well, Bill Bland is actually from another company. They are hosting the Safe Roads Challenge. They have an app, and if you download the app and put it on your phone and enter the Great Canadian Safe Driving Challenge, well, guess what? You have a chance to win $100,000 for real. $100,000 for being a safe driver. How does that work? We'll talk more about it in a little while. But it's an app that I've installed, and now I'm like hyper analyzing everything I do behind the wheel because this app is analyzing it and giving me feedback and telling me where I'm doing well and where I could do better. So it's very interesting. If you want to gamify your drive, this is going to do it for you. So let's see here. Mr. S. Zimmerman joined, and Ricky Shroy has joined the live. Melvin has jumped in, has comments and questions and other stuff going on. We'll get you in just 1 second. I see here that Nellie's Firehouse. Why did it cut off? Was it Firehouse? I have to stare. I have to look close. not showing up. I can't see the rest of your username, so I don't know what the rest of your username is. Greetings and salutations from Akila Draconis wants to know how the back is. My back is slightly better, although I must say that I'm walking gingerly. Everything I do is very, very calculated. I'm trying not to re-aggravate whatever was aggravating my back last night. Yesterday was terrible. Today was garbage day, so I had to try and figure out how to carry things without bending or breaking or causing tremendous pain. And oddly enough, Akela says his shoulder and neck are bugging him too. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm a big fan of Tylenol arthritis. It does work. It does work well for me. So maybe it'll work well for you. I don't like heavy duty stuff, but the light stuff, the Tylenols, I'm pretty good with that. Nellie's Firehouse Gaming, got you. A volunteer firefighter from Northeast Ontario. I appreciate it. Okay. I'm interested in these games where you can simulate, like there's police simulators, there's all sorts of amazingness, and I'm a Mac guy, so a lot of this stuff isn't for my platform. Mind you, I understand Steam has a lot of these things, and I'm interested in knowing more. But there you go. Let's see here. Is there not a road rage charge? It could be added to that attempted vehicular assault. So there's no road rage specific charge that I'm aware of. Like there's road rages when you have aggressive driving, and then when you try and actually hit somebody with a car, it becomes assault or attempted unaliving or however it works. But there's different avenues. It all depends on the specifics of what's going on in that event. Okay, Nelly's says he used to do Grand Theft Auto to role play because it allowed me to be a police officer or a doctor or a paramedic or mechanic or criminal. You can be anything in that game apparently. I don't have a gaming system though. I'm assuming you need a gaming system. Okay. Melvin Sir says, is there any law against towing two 25-foot trailers with a pickup? First, a flat deck. Second, a camper. So you're talking about tandem towing. Tandem towing has changed a little bit in the last couple of years, and I have to be honest with you, it's still not clear to me. For the longest time, it was commercial only, and there is tandem towing depending on the size of the vehicle you are towing with. So my understanding, and again, this is not 100%, I want you to confirm it on your own with someone who's actively in the space, because I am not a commercial motor vehicle specialist, nor am I a towing guy. But my understanding is a motorhome, a full-length Winnebago, could potentially tow both. Otherwise, you're looking at big rigs that can tandem tow. It is something that is dangerous, and it is something that I believe is prohibited unless you have the appropriate certifications for tow max towing. I don't know why people want to do it. I think it's significantly it's a bad idea. But there are scenarios where it's legal. I just don't want to give you bad information, so I'm not going to give you specific authorization to do anything, because I think it's changed. I think at one point it was commercial only, and I think now there's some gray area. I would confirm with the MTO or even the OPP, because I'm sure that they have somebody who can answer you with how they would enforce it, and they are likely going to be the ones enforcing it. Cool Grizzly wants to know why I left the police job. And I got injured, but I thought they would give you another job. So I got injured in 2018 in a motorcycle crash when I was in the motor squad, heading back to the station. A guy hit me with his car, took me off the game, put me into a light duty scenario, which means I was doing other jobs. And then I sort of reinvented myself into a media relations officer. And then I had to basically figure out what I was doing with my life. And as I was approaching 50, and with my family needing me more at home to help them because of family situations, I decided to leave significantly earlier than I had planned to. But you know what they say, family first. So I made a big decision, and now I'm on my own, working with a not-for-profit which I founded called Better Traffic. It's called the Canadian Organization for Better Traffic Safety and Education, and it's what the umbrella is that I am operating under. So I'm trying to continue my traffic safety education journey, mission, if you will, doing everything I did as a police officer without being a police officer. Yeah. And in doing so can help police agencies and communities across Canada and the United States. That's the mission. Plumbing Buddy says, are you retired now? I've never worked so hard in my life. I'm busy 24/7 now. I went to bed at 1 a.m. because I was busy working on stuff. I got up at 5 in the morning, so I'm hustling, baby. Yeah. If you got questions, I've got answers. My name is Sean Shapiro. I'm a former police officer who talks about traffic safety, traffic law, and police stuff. And I want to help you. If you've got questions that you can't find answers to, let me know. And also, we're going to talk about some dash cam. I already played one at the beginning. And by the way, if you missed it, if you're just jumping in now and you want to see what is up, what we were talking about earlier, know that all of these episodes are archived because the live streams are going out on YouTube, LinkedIn, used to be Facebook, now it's X. And I'm not making a mistake. Facebook changed its requirements for live streaming, so we don't live stream right now. But I'm on X, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram. What else? And of course TikTok. But TikTok doesn't store these for later. You can actually get all of the live streams on a YouTube channel and on a playlist, as well as all of the I want to say videos. Sometimes it doesn't accept it, but I'm on podcast platforms. So all these lives get downloaded and rebroadcast as podcasts. So if you want to drive around listening to my voice in your ear talking about stuff and things, you're welcome to join, follow, and it will automatically synchronize with your device. And then when you're out on the boat, you can listen to the answers of questions and stuff and things without seeing video, of course. While you're driving, you won't burn data, you won't break laws. Yeah, data is a big deal. I remember when 1 gigabyte was a lot of data, and now what do you have? Like unlimited plans? Data's no longer a big deal. Brandon says was leaving the airport and witnessed another driver doing their makeup while driving. We're talking about not their makeup test, but their makeup on their face. I think that is a wonderful opportunity to lay a charge for careless driving. See, people think distracted driving is using your phone, and that's what's bad. But distracted driving was originally a lesser offense, something lesser than careless, because careless comes with 6 demerit points, and the magical distracted driving laws originally didn't have demerit points at all. So it was supposed to be a way to just sort of wake you up and say you shouldn't be doing what you're doing, but it didn't work. So they raised it and raised it and raised it. Now it's $615, while the careless driving is only $395, I think. Anyway, that was almost an early reveal. May have been an early reveal of a dad joke for later. But what I meant to do was thank Brandon for sharing, and welcome back. You just got back from Ireland. Scotland, not Ireland. Unless you went to Ireland too. See, I did a whirlwind trip when I was in Scotland. It was like I was on a cruise, so I went to Scotland and Ireland and back and forth between the two. Okay, what we got here? Cool Grizzly says, hope your organization succeeds. I hope so too. We are working with great organizations like Diamond and Diamond and Barrett Legal and many more that we're in talks with about sponsoring the program, helping to get funding, because obviously I'm funding this from my pocket. This is just something that I really think is important. I want to keep helping people, so everything that I'm doing costs me money, and hopefully at some point it will pay for itself. I hope. But you know what? It won't stop me. I'll keep doing it regardless. That said, if you do want to get involved, I am revamping the website, bettertraffic.ca, where you can reach out. You can read about stuff and things, because I post articles there. And you will eventually be able to either buy merch to support the organization or simply make a donation. Working on it. It's not there yet. Okay. Let's see here. Melvin Sr., what does he say? He says, I just don't want to spend $7,000 on shipping the loaded flat deck. I hear you, but make sure you're doing what this is in regards to tandem towing. The big thing you got to do is just make sure it's legal and safe, and get an opinion from a commercial motor vehicle specialist, because the last thing I want you to get in trouble with is a charge that takes you off the road and ends up giving you the $7,000 situation plus fines. Nick GR001 says, how far can a police speed radar read? Well, first off, you have to know whether or not it is something that is, if we're operating radar or LiDAR. LiDAR is a laser equivalent or alternative. One uses light, the other one uses X bands or radar bands to bounce off your vehicle. And they're both the same principles, right? One sends an X or a radar signal that bounces off your vehicle, and then the time distance between time the sending gun or antenna sends it out, it bounces back and comes to the receiver, versus light that is bouncing and reflecting off of the target back to the receiver. Same principle being used for measuring speed, essentially. One, I mean, I could tell you that we can measure speed from something with a laser 500 feet away, no problem. Still, obviously, have to see it, because I saw a comment here. Radar, I believe, is line of sight. That's from Melvin. And regardless of whether it returns something, we are making visual observations as radar and lidar operators. We're looking at a vehicle and estimating its speed. Then we're using that device to verify that, yes, in fact, based on our observations and our estimations, it is doing above the speed limit, and this is the calculation for exactly what it is doing. It's not simply pull the trigger, see a number, and write a ticket. There is an art to it, especially with radar use, because it's far more complicated than laser. Laser drops a beam that, although it gets wider as you go, you're looking at a reticle. You can confirm that, yes, I'm pointing it at the blue car with the white license plate versus the red car with the white license plate. Whereas with the radar, it's all about size of vehicle. Which one the reading could be from the vehicle you're looking at, or it could be from a larger vehicle if one exists. Like it's way more involved. Okay. Anyway, the majority is laser these days. Adam Lapping says, how can I send the dash cam video of dangerous driving to the OPP? Well, the OPP, like many police agencies who have websites, likely have a form, as does the Toronto Police and York Regional Police. Now, I will say this, those forms don't generally allow you to upload files, and that's because they don't want to have people sending viruses or data that's an issue, or just jam up their servers. So what I would suggest doing is either using Dropbox or another sharing tool, and you can make an online report and then use a link to share the file, which they can then choose to download the video at their discretion. So that's an option. If you want to send me video of interesting things, you can go to the link in the bio, where I now have a form that you can fill out, and you can submit a video there so that I can review it online. I can have a look at it and share my opinion with the world, which many people have been doing by way of tagging me. But I thought, what better way to do it? Let's say you have dash cam and you don't want to post it on the internet. Well, you send it to me and I will post it on the internet without telling people who you are. Okay. Question from Private. Private what? Also, Brian Max, what's going on? Brian has jumped in with Creator Steve and Ka and Radix and BGP. What's going on, everybody? Okay. So the question from Private is, if light turns red and you haven't cleared the intersection, is it automatic fail? True, false? Are you talking about on a driver's test, or are you talking about fail like you're going to get a ticket? Because I want to be clear. If you enter an intersection when you don't have somewhere to go and the light turns red in a situation of a left turn, it is not an automatic fail. It is that you have to clear the intersection to be lawful. You have a lawful obligation to clear the intersection. Oh, by the way, it is not, I shouldn't say that it's not on the driver's test, because I don't know what the driver's test entails now. I don't know if they would dock you for that. There's probably someone you could ask before the test begins in terms of from drive test. But in terms of legally, from a policing perspective, you can enter the intersection, and if it turns red while you're in it, it's not against the law. Other than the fact that if you get stuck there and you cannot clear the intersection in a timely fashion, then you would be eligible for a ticket. Hope that helps. If it doesn't, ask me differently. Adam says, Nellie's Firehouse says you can email the OPP or put it on a flash drive and take it to the OPP. Other alternatives, rather than the if they don't have a web portal like York Regional Police and Toronto Police do. Oh, excellent. Nellie's Firehouse Gaming also is the owner of a Facebook page that says Slow Down, Move Over Ontario, which is a good thing. Slow Down, Move Over is talking about the law that says for emergency vehicles, that's police, fire, ambulance, or vehicles that are assisting, and that is specifically the fine folks who are driving tow trucks, not the ones that are shooting each other, the good ones who are trying to help. But they turn their ambers on. You are obligated in Ontario to slow down and move over, which means if there's an available lane, you will go out of the lane you're in completely over to the next lane over, giving them a full lane of padding of safety while they're working at the side of the road. Very important. If there is no free lane to move into, then you need to slow down significantly to ensure their safety. Okay. Delano wants to know who I'm voting for. Is that really important? I was a cop. That should be enough of an answer. Driver's test. Okay, that's what they were asking. Okay, do you miss being a cop? That's from Keep the Change. I do. I do and I don't. It's a very difficult question. Being a police officer is a big part of my identity and something that I love doing. And I didn't leave because I didn't like it. I left because family reasons, doing the right thing for the people I love. Now, if it wasn't for the situation I'm in, I'd probably still be a cop. And I also was a cop who was stuck inside because of my injuries. I was on the road, so I missed being on the road more than I missed being a cop in an office. I missed being an effective police officer on the street, being a motor cop, like being all the things that you dream about being when you join the police service. So yeah, of course I miss the people I work with. I love those guys and gals. They're fantastic people, and I used to get to essentially see them every day. We used to go for walks on our breaks. We used to go for lunch and socialize. It was a big thing. Nellie's Firehouse Gaming says, slow down, move over for service vehicles, tow trucks, police, fire, and paramedics. Awesome. Delano wants to know, can I get a ticket for moving off from a green light too fast? Potentially, you can get a ticket for anything because there are ways to interpret your activities. So technically speaking, if you 0 to 60 it in 3.2 or 2.1, or what do you got, a Tesla? What's the fastest acceleration now? If you hammer down and people are panicked, jumping out of the way, freaking out, it's possible to interpret that as stunt driving. Could be marked departure, where everybody else is going slow and you've just hammered down. It's potential that you could be charged with stunt driving. It's probably a reach, but it's possible. Generally speaking, it's not specifically illegal to accelerate quickly, so it all depends on what the interpretations of the officer who's observing you is. Yeah. Okay, I got another video. Here's one that I was tagged in, and I think it's fantastic. The music is even good.
You're a dumbass. You're a dumbass. You're grade A, #1, bona fide, first class. You're a dumbass. You're a dumbass.
What happened there? I'll mute it for the second run, but yeah, so two cars approach a stop sign. The first one stops at the stop bar, and then the second car says, nah, I already did my time behind the line, and when you go, I'm going too, because I got places to go. So the question is, did he break any laws? And the answer is, yeah. Every vehicle has to stop at the stop bar. You don't get to stop a kilometer away or 1 car length away and said, I got it. It's one in the bank. I stopped already. I stopped twice at the last one, so I don't have to. No, it's ridiculous. But the poster actually put this up, and obviously with the music, that they know what's up. My name is Sean Shapiro. I'm a former police officer who talks about traffic safety, traffic law, and police stuff, and I want to help you. So if you've got questions about traffic safety, traffic law, or police stuff, oddly enough, feel free to ask them. That's what we're talking about. That's what we talk about every day when we go live. And if you've got videos you want me to respond to comment on, to maybe use in the show, then please tag me in them or send them to me. You can get me with DMs. You can get me with the file drop at trafficcop.ca. You can do all sorts of things. There's easy ways to get a hold of me. I'm everywhere. Let's see. Delano said, me and my wife had a conversation about the whole accelerating quickly from a green, and he told her that she can get a ticket. I certainly believe you're right. And again, it all depends. Everything depends. The law is pretty flexible. We got Nicholas Rizzi, who jumped in, and he's got some dad jokes that he's adding to the mix. These better be good because he's a stand-up comedian. And then we've got a Killer Draconis with a quote. We'll flag that for just a little bit from now. Time check. Cool. Brian says, morning, y'all. I'm hopping in the car, so I can't hang around. But here's a question. If 4 cars arrive at a 4-way stop at the same time, which one goes first? This is an age-old question. I'm sure that Brian knows the answer. But I appreciate you contributing to the flow of the show. And the answer is, well, technically, somebody got there first. And while the first to arrive is the first to drive, if in the magical mystical place we all got there at the same time, I will revert to what my friend Scott Marshall says. He's the safe driver. You should check him out. He's everywhere. He's a former judge from the Canada's Worst Driver show, and he used to teach driving to many, even taught driving instructors to be driving instructors. And what does he say? He says, the right of way is something that you give, not take. And think about it. if you think it's your right and so does the other person, you end up meeting in the middle in a crash. So it is far better to give the right of way. Now, if nobody's making a decision, someone's got to. So if nobody's going anywhere, then someone's got to figure it out. And I would enter very gingerly to ensure that when you entered, nobody else had the same idea. It's a Canadian thing. So even waving, everyone just waves for a while, and then 10 minutes later, you're still there going, after you, after you, after you, after you. It's ridiculous. Canada can be ridiculous with its politeness. And then it can be ridiculous because of people who are not polite. But that's another thing. GXLXEXN_BXF. That doesn't roll off the tongue, I have to tell you. They said, I have my daughter join your YouTube channel, getting ready to get her license. Awesome. Yes, the link to the playlist where I read from this magical book, it is live, and the first chapter went up on last Saturday. I'm scheduled. I'm hoping to have the second one scheduled, ready to be posted on Saturday. Saturdays are going to be the day where those get posted. It'll be a regular thing, and each chapter gets better than the last. And I know this because the introduction was boring. I mean, you can't get worse. So chapter 2 has to be better, and I'm banking on that. I'm also working on converting those courses into multiple languages. Now, I'm not writing the course. I'm reading from the book, but my audio is in English, and I am having some AI magic with the help of Barrett Legal to convert that to multiple languages. So we should have, I think at one point, 30 languages available. It'll still be my face, but it'll be an computer generated AI version of me. I'm reading, of course, English live, but when I do the other stuff, it'll be an AI version of myself or somebody else. Maybe it'll just be somebody else. Maybe I'll use someone that's not me. Either way, the course with my dialogue will be available. Okay, moving along. I got hung up on that. Okay, Radix says, can vehicles stop in bike lanes to pick or drop off passengers? The answer is no. You're not allowed to stop in bike lanes. You're not allowed to drive in them. You would stop at the edge of the lane that is your lane for vehicles, and at that point, someone would have to get out without dooring a cyclist. And as much as the cycling community and I don't always get along, most of the time don't get along. I still don't want them to get hurt. I was going to say something else, but there are so many good cyclists and so many not so good cyclists, but I want them all to be safe. I don't want them to get hit by cars, and I certainly don't want them running stop signs. That's where our arguments. I want them wearing helmets. I ultimately like them to be licensed so they know what the bloody laws are. But yeah, you can't pull your car into a bicycle lane. You can pull beside it as though the edge of the bicycle lane was the curb. Just be careful out there. Okay, which video can I bring next? I want to play another one, another dash cam. 30 seconds. Six Buzz put this up. I love this. This is wild. What do you think's going to happen?
Oh my.
Yeah. Not a genius. Not a genius. This is not the first time I've seen vehicles have this kind of interaction. In fact, a mini miner or a mini was driving on Lakeshore, and what happened at the end, they were on Lakeshore and did exactly the same move in front of a dump truck. The dump truck didn't see it. Why? Because there's about a 20-foot blind spot in front of those vehicles. And what happened? The dump truck just drove up the ramp onto the DVP, taking the Mini with them, and drove for a kilometer or so with people yelling and screaming and honking beside them. And that's what happened. Was people don't understand big trucks need space, and the aggressive behavior which we're seeing here of I got somewhere to go. No, it don't work. It doesn't work. Jacked Up says, wait. Oh, we'll talk about that. You're talking about cyclists. I thought you were saying, Jacked Up said, it makes me giggle. And I thought you were talking about the video on the screen, but it was about something else. We'll go back to that in just 1 second. So this one, Delano wants to know if I would give the truck guy a ticket. No, the truck guy didn't do anything wrong. In fact, I think that they did pretty well recognizing that a vehicle was attached to the front of them so quick because, they think about things. Oh, is there something in the back that's grinding or making noise? That vehicle is so powerful I don't think it even noticed, other than possibly some squeaky tires and maybe hands over the hood. But again, actually go to turf.ca. No, we're going to go to turf.ca. We're going to do it together. Oh, wait, no, I think I have this on a download, because every time okay, let me go in here and see if I have a turf document, because it's ultimately, it's the weirdest thing. Instead of, they do it different. What they do is, instead of having a web page display it, they have a, what do? They do a download, like an immediate. Yeah, see, I've got 4 copies of this here. Let me put it up on the screen. He went on the wrong side, so he's trying to drive all the way up. No, that's not what I wanted to play. Media. Can I add a PDF? Let's try this. Where is it? Downloads. I hadn't planned on this. No, I don't have it. It only wants JPEGs. Okay, I'll open it up on my screen. Cancel this. Go back here. I love live TV. Where is it? Here we are. Okay, opening up the PDF. I'll do better next time. I will, I promise. Okay. Here we go. So many buttons. Here we go. Okay. Size matters. How do I get my tools to disappear? There's no tool button. Here, edit. No. Convert. No. Apparently, no. So here we go. Vehicle size matters. Sharing the road with large trucks. This is available from turf, TIRF.ca. When you go here, this is the one I wanted to show you. So there's the 20-foot of blind spot. Look at these areas where no one will see you. Like, it's amazing. People don't get it. So based on that car was nearly, if not completely, invisible to the driver. Yeah, take your time to look at this on your own time. But there's a lot of amazing resources at Turf. Check them out. Do I have it on their website? Do I have it here? No. I should probably add this. Okay, we're saying Turf, the traffic. Making a banner while we go. And then, that's not what I want to do. I pressed the wrong add button. Here we go. There. turf.ca. Boom. On the screen they are. I can finally quit out of my PDF app. And I want to put up, hey, what do I want to put? I want to put up a little thing. So we'll go up. We'll go check out Toronto Police and see if they posted anything new for the weekend. We'll do that in just a little bit and see what kind of surprises await us. All right. I put it on. That's been on the screen long enough. It'll be better timing next time. What are you guys doing for the weekend? Anything magical that you have planned? If you're going to go out and party on, but party on safely. No drugs, no alcohol if you're getting behind the wheel of a car. And of course, park legally. Yeah, it's amazing. People don't realize you can go out and party and it's great. Have fun. I power to you. However, at the end of that night, you are not driving home, at least not safely. And so many people do the right thing, but then wake up the next morning thinking they're okay to drive. I arrested a guy at 9 a.m. after a minor collision because he thought he was off the booze. That was still, I think his numbers were still going up. He was still processing the alcohol because it was a late night. Went to bed, woke up, 4 hours isn't enough time to get rid of all the alcohol. He was still drunk. Okay, Pete says, hey, Sean, hope you're well, man. I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. I hope you're doing well, too. And Delano says, we talked about that. Jacked Up. Was that Jacked Up to the Magnificent? Or I forgot the rest of your name. You just changed it to Jacked Up. Or unless you're not the same user, and I'm giving you credit for being the other guy. Either way, Jacked Up says, the police routinely snag cyclists blowing a stop sign near the Italian consulate on Beverly. It makes me giggle. Yeah, it would make me giggle, too. I don't understand people who just blatantly disregard the law. And for the people who think cycling is safe and that you can't hurt somebody, 2 cyclists collided in Toronto a couple years ago, and one did not survive. So if two cyclists can hurt one another, what would one cyclist with a pedestrian do? Well, bad stuff. In fact, when I was recovering from my my motorcycle collision, the nurse that was coming to the house to take care of my my leg wound said that some of the most gruesome injuries that she is or was at the time taking care of were that of pedestrians hit by cyclists. And I think everybody wants to live in the make believe that cycling isn't dangerous and that cyclists can't harm anybody, which is not true at all. Is not accurate. Hey, if you're watching and you don't already follow me, please do. Follows and likes really do help. In fact, the most important thing is sharing it. If you think I've got some value here to share, share it with people that you think could use the value. I'm not saying that you tell your friend they don't know how to drive. I'm saying that if they don't know how to drive, just share it with them, say it's interesting, and you know why you shared it with them. All right. We've got here a question from Nicholas Rizzi. Do prison wardens have a plan in case all criminals escape? I sure as hope so. I don't know. I've never been a prison warden, but I did watch an interesting episode of what was it called? Rookie Blue. I don't think it ended well. Like it didn't. It didn't just. Do you watch Rookie Blue? Does anybody watch Rookie Blue? Rookie Blue. They had a call from the warden that said, "We got something going on here. We got to take all of our prisoners and send you a busload of them." And then one thing led to another, and it was just calamity. The computers crashed, and the lights went out. And it was a mess. And I don't want that job. I worked in courts. That was enough. Waddell Engineering. What's going on? Berlin. Welcome. Let's see what's going on here. Do we have anybody stuck in the? No, I scrolled up. We're good. All right. Celtic says, "Hey, Sean, my sister recently got a notice of suspension for her license. She's a G2 novice driver. Can she still drive before the listed date? Additionally, can she surrender her license before the listed date so that the suspension is lifted sooner? Is there a fee to lift the suspension? Thank you for any help." So she got a suspension of her license, I'm assuming based on a ticket that had 4 or more demerit points. I'm guessing she got a ticket that she was convicted for, because on the conviction of a ticket with 4 demerit points or more, you would get 30-day suspension. I can't think of anything. I mean, other than unpaid bills or unpaid fines, I should say. I'd like to know more. Tell me more about why she was suspended. Now, if the suspension is effective in a future date, it would be my understanding, and I think you have a reasonable belief that you could drive until that date, because it would tell you when it's effective. Now, there's notice of suspension that. Okay, they said it came in the mail. Not sure if it's a conviction, but yes. So the wording matters. If it says suspension effective on this date, you're okay to drive until that date. There are times when you are suspended in court and they mail it to you, you're suspended already, but you have 7 days to where you can be notified. And prior to that, you're still suspended driving, but you probably won't get charged for it. You'll be given a notice at the side of the road. Anyway, that's not the situation you're in. You've been given notice. I would contact the courts and see if you could start that earlier. You may not be able to. I don't know. When she's finished that suspension, it is a $280 roughly reinstatement fee. There's no fee to get rid of the suspension, but it is when it's done, when it's expired, then you pay the $280. Joshua Maloney says, "Only show I watch is The Rookie." Really? The only show you watch? You watch no other television at all? I find that hard to believe, but I do think it's a great show. And I've been watching it since the beginning. It's pretty good. I like it a lot. Boggs. I have an international driving license from the UAE. Do I need to do a road test in Ontario to get a driver's license? So this is a little more to unpack. If you have an international driver's license, that is a translation card that accompanies a driving license from the UAE. So you need both international driving license and driver's license. They're not independent of one another. One assists the other one by allowing police to translate what's on the other card, because I'm assuming it's not in English. What would happen is if you have a full license from the UAE, you would be eligible to take your license in and say, "I have a full license. Here's my credentials. Here's my international driving permit," as translation, so you understand what it says. Based on either the country you're from, and I don't know if you're on the list with the UAE, Let's have a look, because I just read this in chapter 1 in my G1 reading. I keep calling it a course. Really, it's me reading the book. In any case, what does it do? It gives you either time, and I think for UAE, it's not a straight trade. I think it is time credited for driving. So if you've been driving for 2 years, I think is the maximum they'll give you benefit for. Sometimes you have to go to your consulate and get more information. So here's the deal. I just read this. Ontario has license exchange agreements with every Canadian province and territory, including the Canadian Forces Europe. There are also agreements with Australia, Austria, Belgium, France, Germany, Great Britain, Ireland, the Isle of Man, Japan, New Zealand, Northern Ireland, Republic of Korea, Switzerland, Taiwan, and the United States. So UAE is not on there. So you would be, at worst case scenario, you can go and tell them, and I read this also, you can just say you have a year of experience and they just believe you up to a year. But you need proof for anything above that. And the experience must be no more than 3 years old. So if you have not been driving for 3 years since getting here, you would not be eligible to get credit for that driving experience. Interesting stuff. So if you have the experience, if you have all the proof to back it up, you might be able to bypass the waiting time that most people would have to wait going from their G1 to their G2, G2 to their G. But you still have to get tested. And if you've been here for more than 60 days, you cannot, as a resident, you cannot continue to drive with your UAE license. That is only good for 60 days upon becoming a resident. Pretty wild stuff. Okay, maybe wild might be an exaggeration, but I find it interesting. Okay. Sean, now that I'm back, we should do lunch. Brandon, I couldn't agree with you more. Let me know when you're around. I would love to connect and grab a bite. Okay. Celtic says, everything else you said is correct. So one sec. What did I say that? He says, everything you said is, everything else you said. But what else? what did I say that wasn't correct? What is this? Nicholas Rizzi with questions from the unknown. If Will Smith and Martin Lawrence did all the things they did in Bad Boys in real life, are they good cops or bad cops? Or cops perfect for Alberta? This is a question for After Dark, I think. But, I love the Bad Boys series. I'm not a fan of Will Smith after his lunatic situation where he assaulted a man on stage. Not a fan of his anymore. I used to think very highly of him. But anyway, were they good cops or bad cops in the movies? I mean, they were effective cops, but they broke a whole lot of laws, so they wouldn't be good cops in the eyes of the courts. Not here. Let's see here. Celtic, is it Celtic or Celtic? Because it depends on the pronunciation of where you're from. Thanks for the info. Quick follow-up. Could you, in theory, contest the ticket on the basis that if it was a camera that caught her, or is that not a thing? You wouldn't get so suspensions aren't issued based on automated enforcement because they're not written to the driver. They're written to the vehicle owner, and they don't carry any impact to your driver's license. So it wouldn't be an automated enforcement ticket that got her suspended unless she simply didn't pay her fines. And even then it wouldn't be a license suspension. It would be a license plate suspension, essentially. Yeah. In terms of, he says, the reason I ask is the word conviction implies she went to the court and judge weighted the evidence versus the facts. So conviction is what is registered if you fail to respond or if you are convicted in court. So if you don't plead guilty, you're found guilty in your absence, you're convicted. If you are paying your fine because you don't want to deal with it in court, you're convicted because you paid the fine, you've pled guilty. If you go to have a trial and you lose in the trial, you're convicted. So there's different ways to get conviction, even though it implies that you went to the court and had a judge weigh in on it. It doesn't actually mean that. It just means that you've had a conviction registered and thus convicted. Bog says, thank you. You're very welcome. Let's see here. In response to Brandon's statement, get in line, Brandon. I've been trying to get him out to lunch for a while now. Sean, you have my contacts. And to be fair, I've never had lunch with Brandon. I have had lunch with Akela a number of times. Celtic and Celtic says it's either or. You could pronounce it either way. I at one point I remember going down the rabbit hole, which I am known to do, in regards to stuff and things, and I believe it's depending if you're depending on what area the language you're from. Yeah, I don't remember the details, but there was a thing about it. Okay, we did this video. He went on the wrong side. So I'm just going to mute it because this is my dash camera where I'm talking to my daughter. So look at this video. Tell me what you see. Tell me when you see it because I know what I'm looking at, and I was in shock. So the car that you see doing something, it looks a little awkward. Whoa, where am I going to go? I'm stuck. Well, they're dumb. They followed a car, and then they followed it too far, and then they committed to it and drove into the oncoming traffic so they could make a left turn into a driveway. Not smart. Not smart at all. But, I was like, I said to my daughter, get your phone. I forgot all about the fact that I have a dash camera. It's capturing everything. So we managed to capture the magic. I was shocked because I watched this train wreck happen in slow motion. Now, very fortunate, no collision occurred, but I see the darndest things. If you've got questions, I got answers. My name is Sean Shapiro. I talk about traffic safety, traffic law, and police stuff every single day, even when it's no longer fun and people don't want to hear about it. But I still talk about it because it's important stuff. And if you have questions, I'd like to help you out. My name is Sean Shapiro. I'm a former police officer. And I'm here Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 10 a.m. I am back on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9 p.m., although that is not where I was last night because my back was acting up and I had to cancel it. Okay. I say rabbit hole, and Akela says, a rabbit hole, have a badge for you sitting on my desk waiting. He got me a badge. Now, if you've ever been a Cub Scout or in the scouting world, you earn merit badges and you wear them on a sash or wherever they go. Maybe it's is it going neckerchief? Neckerchief? Sash? What is it called when it goes around your neck? Hanky? You are Akela used to be very involved with scouting. I was a Cub Scout many moons ago. I found my itty bitty beanie somewhere, and I don't know what I've done with it, but it is definitely more than just cookies. Anyway, you get these things, and Akela got me one for going down the rabbit hole because I tend to live there. Rip wants to know the best way to prepare for OPC, the Ontario Police College. Aside from learning how to live on a sleeping bag above your folded, perfectly pressed sheets, and prepare to eat a lot of eggs and eating for fun, I think is important, and being really diligent about your sleep schedule. And being prepared to work hard because OPC is work, and some people get really distracted with the potential of partying. I don't know if you're with Toronto Police, if you're an internal hire, please do us proud. Please be in the top 25%. That is the way to go. You get a little bonus if you're in the top 25%. But try and do the best. Stay fit throughout. And keep up with your exercise. I actually got injured when I was at OPC. Oddly enough, I had some difficulty and I couldn't run at the end because of my injury. So I had to make up my running when I got back to Toronto. It was not fun. It would be nice to maintain your health all the way through, and then study like I didn't study like I think paying attention and participating in class is the most important. Don't be the silent person at the back making notes. Actually, for me, talking about it, engaging with the instructors, that's what was most effective. Okay. What is this question? Kayla, thanks for the follow. Waddell Engineering says when traffic is backed up. I don't see anything else. It's out of sequence or it filtered something. So I don't know what you meant or what you wanted to say, but I don't see it. So please clarify. Fried Pickle joined. Welcome, Fried Pickle. I'm going to say Fried Pickle 3 more times. Fried Pickle, Fried Pickle, Fried Pickle. Akela Draconis says it's called a sash or sleeve depending on the section and year. Good to know. I will probably not remember that. In a moment, I'm going to be reading some dad jokes because that's how we end the show. But that means that the end of the show is coming soon. But I want to share this video with you. E-scooters are getting fast. Oh, yes. 66 miles per hour. That's 100 kilometers an hour, roughly. 100K on an e-scooter. And in case you didn't know, there are e-scooters in Ontario. Certain jurisdictions. It's a pilot project, and they allow you to have an e-scooter, an e-kick scooter, as long as it does not have a seat, it does not carry cargo, and that it does not go more than 24 kilometers an hour. It's amazing, but 24 kilometers an hour will not maintain highway speeds in the United States or Canada. So that's a thing. That one was absolutely illegal. Also, you have to be 16 years old, cannot have a seat. I think I said that already. And you can't even use them in jurisdictions that don't explicitly permit them. So the city of Toronto, not allowed at all. Does that stop people from using them? Not at all. They're everywhere. Is it illegal? Yes, it is. It's a prohibited vehicle, can't be used, and you can't be charged for it. But is it the highest, offense that you can commit whilst in the city? No. And that's probably one of the reasons why it's not heavily enforced. Primarily because of the lower priority compared to speeding, or the big four: the speeding, aggressive, distracted, and impaired driving of motor vehicles, because those carry the greatest threat to others. But you could be ticketed. And if you're doing 100 kilometers an hour, in fact, if you're doing 25 kilometers an hour, you're in a motor vehicle. You're eligible for the same tickets that a motor vehicle, a car, would get. Now, you're always eligible for Highway Traffic Act offenses. You're treated as though you're on a bicycle in most cases. But if you're on one with a seat, it's a motorcycle. No license, no insurance, no luck. My wife says that after looking at that looks so dangerous. Because it is. It's a very, it's you know what? That video provided exactly what an accurate depiction of just how serious it was, I think. Okay, we did this one, we did that one. I think we covered all the videos. I think I played them all. I think I did. I have more videos for Tuesday where I will shock whomever is my guest. And I think it might be Brian Max, who jumped in earlier with a comment. But Brian might join me on Tuesday night because the Logan Grant is elsewhere. Oh, yes. Okay, what do we got here? So Kayla said it was called a sash or a sleeve, but Nicholas says, nay, it's called an ascot. Haven't y'all seen Toy Story 3? So I used to, I worked with a guy. Actually, I went to the Ontario Police College with him, and he showed up to an event wearing he went to court wearing an ascot and a three-piece suit because he's she. Yes, he is. We have a dad joke from Captain. Cool. It's going to say it's for me, but it's from Captain. Want to make sure we got nothing going on here. All right. I think we're up to date. This is awesome. All right. Let's go into the dad jokes. Finger on the button. If it's a good one, if it's a bad one, if I don't get it, I got the buttons ready. Okay. How do we have dad joke? Okay. Dad joke is an order of operations here. Dad joke part 1. Bert, I've done my part to help the environment today. Part 2. Oh, yeah? What did you do? I unplugged 6 electric vehicles that no one was using. And today we have to credit them for also not setting fire to them, because there are lunatics everywhere that are attacking cars that are owned by private citizens to get back at Elon Musk. I don't get it. I got the joke. I don't get the people who are hurting people's property, damaging people's property to get back at a man who don't care. All right, Star Wars dad joke. Did you hear about the kidnapping at the Jedi Temple? Master Yoda woke him up. I get it. I got it. But it didn't hit. He woke him up. The kid was napping at the Jedi Temple. Kidnapping. Woke him up. Yeah. It's okay. Oh my goodness, we got Nicholas Rizzi jokes. I gotta read them first to make sure. Dad joke. I was addicted to soap, but I'm clean now. I like that. I actually like that. It's not bad. How many months have you been clean? Dad joke. What did 0 say to 8? The belt looks good on you. It's actually better than I imagined. It's good. If you don't agree, let me know. I think that was good. Okay. Dad joke. What do you call someone with no body and no nose? Nobody knows. I think that one could have been better. Okay, a quote from Akela before another dad joke from Nicholas. Coincidence is God's way of remaining anonymous. Albert Einstein. Well, Albert Einstein was a smart guy, so I'll take the comment, the quote. I like it. Coincidence. I like that. I like that a lot, actually. Dad joke from Nicholas Rizzi. What did one hat say to the other hat? Stay here. I'm going on ahead. That's good. Good. It's good. Can't say bad things about it. It's good. This is from Captain. Joke of the day. Is there a part 2? Oh, yes, it is. Okay. Like, what's going on here? Was the rest of it? We'll copy that. So it's the joke of the day is, why did the bike fall over? It was too tired. Yes. Come on. According to Akela, and I've not seen this, but I know Akela reads stuff and things. Russian troops have started using e-scooters in Kursk now. They're interesting videos. They ran out of Ladas, it seems. Wow. Okay. That's something else. Did not see that coming. Okay. Okay. We got that. We got this. 58 minutes. If you got any other questions, we got 2 minutes before the end. But you know, we don't have to run. I'm usually running overtime. So this situation on a Friday where I'm like, we're on time. It's so weird. In any case, I will be back. And when will I be back? On Monday at 10 a.m. to do this all over again. I will be hunting for good videos to share. I want to make the videos part of every show. I think they are awesome. Oh, I was going to tell you about the safe. Oh, 2 things. See, I don't have time. I don't have time at all. Let's talk about the things I said I was going to do, and let's do them. Careers, Toronto Police. Let's see what's currently posted. We can go into, so obviously this is tps.ca/careers. Did I make a caption for it? These are things I used to have. Come on. I don't. I'll do it later. Wait. No, I didn't. I did make this one. Sean Shapiro, former police officer and traffic nerd. But in the careers page, what happened? Oh, I'm getting notified. Civilian roles. Oh, I see what we're talking about. Okay, we have intermediate programmer analyst, intermediate technical analyst in radio infrastructure, and communications operator, 3 positions. Okay, if you got interest in becoming a police officer, go there. And the other thing I was going to tell you was go to Traffic Cop. Can I even type that? Here we go. TrafficCop.ca. And you go to, well, there's the link to the YouTube channel's directory, but here is the link to send me a video. And here, will it do it for you? I got to switch it here. Replace screen sharing with the great constraint. There we go. If you go to saferoadschallenge.com, great Canadian driving games, just go to trafficcop.ca and click the button. You can go get the app that'll allow you to track your gaming, your driving in a game format, and the potential is that you win $100,000. It's amazing. Truly, your virtual journey across Canada. It ends September 14th this year. The information that's being captured is going into the TURF Traffic Injury Research Foundation systems to be analyzed so they can determine what people are doing when they're out there driving around the country to be safer. Where are we failing? Where are we winning? They're going to be able to give us real data. It's not going to the police. It's not going to insurance companies. It's going to you so you can show your parents, your sisters, your cousins, your neighbors, your kids that you are in fact a safe driver. Now, I figured out something. I have a phone mount that kind of wobbles in the car. It shakes a little bit. It's on an arm that goes in a cup holder, and because of that, it says I'm not steady. Well, I'm steady. I'm like a rock, but the thing moves in the cup holder. I got to get a different phone holder, or just like I'll put it in the glove box or something. I don't care. I'm not touching it at all. I've got 100% score on my device. Look at this. I'm going to open it up. I'm going to show it off. I'm going to show it off. And I'm going to make a team. You can join my team if you get on the app. Check out. I've claimed 6 trips. Look at that. 6. I'm going to go to the other screen. Too small. It's too small. So there we go. I got a score of 6. What the heck's going on there? That's so weird. Oh, anything green shows. What the heck's going on? Well, that's what's going on. All right. Yeah, so I've got 6 trips. I've got a score of 83. Then my phone turned off. Back to home. But it ranks. It ranks your acceleration. It ranks your braking, your cornering, your steadiness, your swerve, your phone score. I didn't touch it at all. My speed. I don't speed. Ha. For those who say you speed, I don't. In any case, if you want to compete, if you want to enter for a chance to win, go and sign up. And the way to do that is by going to trafficcop.ca and hitting the link. And for that, I will say goodbye because I am now at the end of my time. And I appreciate you spending time with me. I'll be back Monday. If you're going to drive sober, no drugs, no alcohol. And you know what? Do the speed limit. It's not hard. It's a challenge for some people, but it's not actually difficult. It's also much safer. And we'll talk more about that on Monday. Hope you have a fantastic, magical, awesome this weekend. Either way, have a weekend. And we'll see you at the end of it or after it. Ciao for now.